So we had started labor costing. So those who are not in class yesterday, you check in the class group. There are some notes I shared. There are some notes I shared in the class group. So we are simply doing some questions on the labor costing. So we did one question in the last class. So I want us now to get another question in relation to that. So did I specify the question to be done?
Yes.
We specify for which city?
December 2022.
Yeah, so we now check the question for December 2022. There is a question number 1, part C. Question 3, part B. There was a question number 3, part B. So question 3, part B, when you check through the question number 3, part B, it says that Bingwa Limited operates a premium bonus system where workers receive guaranteed basic hourly minimum rate of pay plus a bonus of 50% of the time saved. A bonus of 50% of the time saved. The following data is provided for the last week of November 2022. Of November 2022, where they gave you particulars, where they have Bell, Charlie, and Dan. Time rate per hour is given, units produced. Time allowed for 100 units. It is 2 hours and 36 minutes. Or the other one is 2 hours and 30 minutes. The other one is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So time taken, they gave you in hours. Rejected units were also given. Rejected units were also given. So, additional information, note 1, no, they say that no payment is made beyond the time allowed. No payment is made beyond the time allowed. Note number 2, the bonus which is paid at the basic hour rate is applicable to the accepted output only. Is applicable to the accepted output only. They also say that no penalty is imposed on the rejected output. No penalty is imposed on the rejected output. So required. From the above information, they wanted you to calculate bonus hours and amount of the bonus earned. Bonus hours and the amount of the bonus earned. So what we do first, we shall get the time allowed. We shall first get the time allowed. Then we compare that with the time taken. Then we shall have the time saved. Then in the process, we calculate the bonus. In the process, we compute the bonus. So what I will do, I will first calculate the time allowed for each. I will first calculate the time allowed for each. The time allowed, I start with Bella, because there was some computation required on that. I start with Bella. So Bella, you want to get the time allowed. They said that units produced were 2,500. The time allowed for 100 units. The time allowed for 100 units. It is meant to be 2 hours and 36 minutes. So we want to get the time allowed per unit. So first we shall get the time allowed per unit. The time allowed per unit. So it is in terms of minutes. It is in terms of, so we need to convert them into hours. So they have said that they will be having, so we shall take 2 hours multiplied by 60, then you add 36 minutes. So that we get the total minutes. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Then divide by the number of the units for that. So divide by 100. So that we get that time in terms of the minutes. We get that time in terms of the minutes.
One point five six.
1.56.
1.56.
Is that 1.56?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is now the time allowed per unit in minutes. So that is minutes. Then we also compute for Charlie. So Charlie, it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. So also get 2 multiplied by 60. Then you also add 30. Also divide by 1.
Mhm.
1.5 minutes per unit. Then the last one is done. So we also do the same for done. So done, you can check, it is also the same. Because it is 2 multiplied by 60 plus 30 divided by 100. It's also 1.5.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is now the time allowed in minutes per unit. So now from there, we can compute the time saved. We can now come up with the time that was actually saved. We can now come up with actually the time that was saved. So we have Bella. We have Bella. We also have Charlie. We also have. So we start off with the time allowed. We start off with the time allowed. Time allowed. So time allowed for Bella. You see, you were supposed to make units produced to 100. So there's a bonus which is paid at the basic hourly rate is applicable to accepted output only. So you see that part? Yeah, so they have said in the note number 2, bonus. So there's even no payment is made beyond the time allowed. So bonus which is paid at the basic hourly rate is applicable to the accepted output only. So output for Bella. Bella was supposed to produce how many units? 2,500. But how many units were rejected? So you use 2,400. We use 2,400 because 100 were rejected. Then we have just calculated the time allowed per unit. We got 1.1.
Yes.
Multiply 1.56, but divide by 60 minutes to convert it into hours. Divide by the 60 minutes to convert it into hours. Remember, they are saying that bonus was only allowed to the use that were accepted. The ones that were rejected, you exclude them.
62.1.
So this one is 62.4. We do the same for Charlie. So Charlie, units produced were 2,200, but how many were rejected?
40.
So we are left with 2,160. So you are left with 2,160 multiplied by, was it 1.5?
Yes.
Multiplied by 1.5, also divided by 60, like that. So divided by 60. This one is 54. Then for Dan, you see, Dan was supposed to make how many units?
2,600.
So there is 2,600, but how many was spoiled?
200.
200 was spoiled. So we are left with 2,000. So 2,400 multiplied by 1.5, also divided by 60, which will give us
60.
will give us 60. So now you compare that to the time taken. Time taken. So you compare that to the time taken. So time taken, I want you to check under Bella. Are you able to see 55 hours? Yeah. How about Charlie?
58.
58 hours. How about Dan?
54.
54 hours. So when you subtract, that's now the bonus hours. The bonus hours. That is the bonus hours. So how many hours are there for Bella?
7.4.
So this one is 7. How about Charlie? There was no, he worked excess than the time allowed, so there is no bonus. No, you didn't?
6.
So that is now part of the Roman letter 1. But they also want to get now the amount of the bonus, and we now also compute the amount of the bonus. We now calculate amount of bonus. Amount of bonus. So it is 7.4 hours that earned the bonus. But when you check up there in the note number 2, the bonus which is paid on the basic hourly rate is applicable at accepted output only. But check in the first paragraph. When you go through the first paragraph, they had said that they were able to say that Lingua Limited operates a premium bonus system where workers will receive guaranteed basic hourly rate pay plus a bonus of 40%. 50% of the time saved. So bonus for Bilham get 50% multiplied by the basic hourly rate. Time rate per hour for Bilham is 300. So multiply 300 by that. So that will be the bonus. So what you do is the same as 50% of 7.4 multiply 300. It will still give you the same. It will still give you the same. You do the same for this part because there was nothing for Charlie. But for this one, you also take 6, then 50% multiplied by the hourly rate for Dan. The hourly rate for Dan is 320 multiplied by 320. So that now was our Roman letter 1 of the question, which was supposed to be so who is paid more, who has earned more bonus between Bella and Dan? Bella has gotten how much? 1110. Then how about Dan?
960.
960. So that is now what we can have for that. So we go to the Roman letter 2. Roman letter 2 is meant to be labor cost for each good unit produced. The labor cost for each good unit produced. So to get the labor cost, when you want to get the labor cost, labor is supposed to be given by, so the total, the gross earnings, it is supposed to be given by the basic pay you earn the bonus you also add overtime premium. You also add the overtime premium. So when you want to calculate the gross earnings is given by the basic pay. Basic pay, you add bonus due, you add the overtime premium. We add the overtime premium. We add the overtime premium. So we compute for each. We calculate for each. We start off with the basic pay. We start off with the basic pay. When it comes to the basic pay, we check through the question. When it comes to the basic pay, we check through the question where they gave you the rate per hour and also the time taken, because they have not given us the basic hours. So you assume that the time taken is what will represent the basic hours. The time taken is what will represent the basic hours. So you simply take this one will be 55 multiplied by 300. Multiplied by 300. $16,500. Charlie, it is supposed to be, it is 58 hours. 58 hours multiplied by, is it 280? Multiplied by 280. 1640. Then finally for done, it is supposed to be 54 hours. What by? Then now bonus due. Bonus due we calculated. Bonus due we calculated. So you said Bella has how much? This one is 1110. So this one has no bonus. But then
960.
960. So you add them together. Because there was no overtime premium. This question had no overtime, unlike the other question we did. So that you get now the gross earnings. You get the gross earnings.
Seventeen, 16 to 14. 18 to 14.
So they wanted you to calculate labor cost for each good unit produced. So labor cost per good unit. Labor cost per good unit. So for Bella, it is 17,610. So divide by, remember total units were 2,500, but 100 were, so you divide by 2,400. This one you also take 16 to 14, but we divide by 2,116, because 41 rejected. The same case for this one, 18 to 40. But this one will be divided by what? So that is now all for that particular question. Then maybe comma comma because we not log this one. Then comma, then the number of people is one. So we are one. And then for our case here, we will ignore, ignore the because and then so the comma, you will ignore something like a comma, then wait for an event, then now just to get another question. Then I go to that. So, and then you realize that what I'm getting at today is not supposed to be given. So, I'll go back and take my home. I'll go back and do it. So, first of all, let us know this the it's not making scared of the news by very important. This is usually the company so that the reason why we do that, the reason why we don't sell, we make it we make it you make it before for our 2 hours. Otherwise, when we do what? When we do one by one, and so we don't know what you are relative. That's why it is itself, the best is the next question I want you to check in the sitting of May 2014. May 2014. Question number 2, part B. I want you to check May 2014, question number 2, part B. May 2014, question number 2, part B. But now enter in now, if I enter the now you can see I have 4. Before. Now, what I will do, I will just line and then control the D. Then we get over the picture and up. So make sure that the demonstration of that, we make sure that people so, and then they go to the back and I want to ask you this to the one about so I get the one so if I have this, the sum of if I subtract the amount I get by subtracting I will expect to get what? Get the same amount. Get the same amount. Get the same amount. I mean, get the same amount. So let us just try to see whether so that one is yes, and then so if you have an equal sign, then my number is so I need us now to use this formula, which is very important. So now, for you.
So let us read here this then we will see then maybe
So are we able to see the question?
Yes.
Yeah, so Jambo Limited operates an incentive scheme where bonus hours are credited to the employees at a rate of 20% of the time saved during the first week of the month of May 2014. The following data was recorded in relation to Mary Masumbi, a casual employee of Jambo Limited. So work issued was 740, but work spoiled was 20. Time allowed per unit in minutes were given as 5. Then hours worked were 50. Additional information not 1. Bonus computation are based on accepted output. The normal working hours in a week are 45 hours. Overtime is paid at 1.5 times the normal hourly rate. So the basic rate of pay is 50 per hour. So showing clearly amount earned for the bonus overtime, compute the total pay for Mary Masumbi. So to get the gross earnings, when you want to calculate the gross earnings, when you want to come up with the gross earnings. So gross earnings is supposed to be given by, so gross earnings will be equal to the basic pay. Basic pay and bonus you add overtime premium. Add overtime premium. So we start off with the basic pay. We start off with the basic pay. To compute the basic pay, you go to the question in the note number 2. Note 2, they said that normal working hours in a week, there are how many hours?
45.
So you take those basic working hours, which is 45, multiplied by the basic hourly rate in the note number 4. Basic hourly rate of pay is 50 per hour. So that will be able to give us what is supposed to be the basic pay. 22.50. So we go to Roman, we also compute the bonus. We now also calculate the bonus. So to get the bonus, they said that bonus computations are based on the accepted what? Output. Bonus computation are based on the accepted output. So what we do, we get the time allowed. Then we minus the time taken or the hours worked in that category. So to get the time allowed, time. So they have said that bonus is based only on what? Accepted output. So work issued was 740, but work spoiled was 20. So accepted output will be 720. So you take 720 units that were accepted. Time allowed per unit in a minute is 5. Then divide by 60 to convert them into hours. We divide by 60 to convert them into hours.
60.
Then we compare that to the time taken. Time taken. So time taken was given. The hours worked. So hours worked were 50. So that the difference will now be able to give us the bonus hours. The bonus hours. So bonus hours will now be how many?
10.
Bonus hours are 10. Then once we have the bonus hours, we can now calculate the bonus Q. We now get the bonus Q. So to get the bonus due, simply take the 10 hours. We shall simply take the 10 hours. We shall simply take the 10 hours. We shall simply take the 10 hours. Then we multiply it by, when you check through, so online, I hope the board is clear. Are you able to see clearly? If you are not able to see clearly, you say it. So the lower part is not clear. So I will use the upper part. But you can see up to what we have there as 10. Yeah, so I will transfer this one up there, the bonus. So I go to the bonus. So bonus due, the bonus due will be equal to 10 hours multiplied by, we multiplied by, where they say that in the note number 1. So bonus computation are based on the accepted output. Then in the first paragraph, they had said that, Jumbo Limited operates an incentive scheme where bonus hours are credited to the employees at a rate of 20% of the time saved. So the rate, so you get 20% of the time saved multiplied by the basic hourly rate. So basic hourly rate, the basic hourly rate was given to you in the note number 4. It is 50. It is meant to be 50 like that. So that should be able to give you the basic, the bonus. Should be able to give you the bonus. It's able to give you the bonus. 100. Then now we also calculate the overtime premium. We shall also be required now to calculate the overtime premium. We now compute overtime premium. We now calculate the overtime premium. So to get the overtime premium, when you want to compute the overtime premium, we start off with, we shall start off with the time taken. We start off with the time taken. So time taken was given. The time taken was given. Hours worked. There were 50 hours. Then basic hours. The basic hours. So basic hours, you are supposed to work for how many hours in a week in the note number 2? Normal working hours in a week. So 45. So he worked in excess. The overtime hours will be, so is it 5?
Yes.
So it will be 5 hours. It will be 5 hours. Then now you get the overtime premium. So that you get now the overtime premium. Overtime premium. So overtime premium, we shall take the 5 hours. Then I would like you to check over in the note number 3. Note 3, they have said that overtime is paid at 1.5 times the normal hour rate. They have said it is paid at 1.5 times. So there's a time I had shown you how to calculate that figure yesterday in one of the questions. So it is either they are saying that overtime is meant to be is paid at 1.5 times. So the basic hourly rate, it is 50. So it will be 50 plus, because they have said that at 1.5 times, 50 multiplied by a half of 50. So it will give us here. It is 75. Or you say that 1 plus a half. So it is the same as the denominator should be 2. So 1 will go there twice, 2 multiplied, that will be 2. Then 1, 3. So it is the same as 3 over 2, whereby you get 3 over 2 multiplied by 50. 3 over 2 multiplied by 50. So you can apply any. Yeah, so we just multiply 3 over 2 multiplied by 50. So it will give you the same. It will give you the same details. It will simply give you the same details. So now you add the 3 figures together. So add the basic pay plus the bonus plus the overtime premium, so that you come up with the total pay. So that you come up with the total pay. So that you come up with the total pay.
I can change the bone time, I can massage, and I can go to the Kita and no, actually, it's just the format and then we have also the power.
So another question, I would like you to go to the sitting of November 2011. I want you to check November 2011. There is question number 2, part L. November 2011, there is question number 2, part A. Mine is on page 92. Mine is on page 92. So you confirm where you can see that part. So are you able to see the question of Pepcom Limited? Yeah, so the question reads that Pepcom Limited manufactures different types of the toys. So the company engages 3 employees: Abel, Bilha, and Charles. Abel, Bilha, and Charles. The following information relates to a certain week for the 3 employees. The following information relates to a certain week for the 3 employees. So they gave you Abel, Bilha, and who? Charles. So they have given you units produced. So the 3 zeros there does not apply. Utazitoa. You see the shillings 3 zeros up there. Muzitoe. They don't apply in that question. The 3 zeros in shillings put up there, you remove them. They don't apply. And then unit produced for Abel, it is 300, not 3,000. The units for Abel, it is 300, not 3,000. Bilha, it is 528. Charles, it is 120. Time allowed per unit in minutes. Units rejected. Basic hourly rate. Also actual hours worked. The now additional information, note number 1, a bonus is paid at 66.2/3% of the basic hourly rate. Of the basic hourly rate. Then they were also able to say that for all the time set, then owing to faulty material creating an abnormally high rate of rejection, it was agreed that credit all output for what? Bonus. Here in Kenya, bonus, the output were rejected, were not. So the rejected use were not included. But this one, they say that when you want to get the bonus, you also include the rejected. But the other question, they had said that we remove the rejected. But this one, they are allowing us to include the rejected. Then they went further to give us that the first 8 hours worked in excess are paid. They are paid at the basic hour rate plus 1/2. The basic hour rate plus 1/2. The next one now, basic hour week has got 40 hours. So required. Determine for each employee the amount of the bonus payable. The amount of the bonus payable. They also wanted you to calculate gross wages payable, wages cost per good unit. So let us start with the Roman letter 1. The time, the amount of bonus paid. We want to see how to get the amount of the bonus paid. So to get the amount of the bonus that was paid, to get the amount of the bonus that was paid. So there are 3 people there. There is Abel, there is Abel, there is Bilha, there is Bilha, and also there is Charles. So Abel, Bilha, and Charles. So we shall start off by calculating the time allowed. We start off by computing the time. So Abel was able to produce 300 units. So remember this time they have said even the rejected ones are to be paid for. So the time allowed should also be able to factor in. So the time allowed per unit in minutes they are given as what?
15.
Multiplied by 15, divide by 60 to give you the time allowed in hours. Give you the time allowed in hours.
75.
So this one will be 75. The one for Bill, it is 528. It is 528. So this one will multiply by 7.5. You also divide by 60.
Then all of them make the
66.
So this one will be 66. Finally, we go to Charles. Charles, it is 120. We multiply by
20.
20, also divide by 60.
40.
So now we need to take the time table. So time taken for Abel. The actual hours was Abel, 8. Then Ilhan, 4. Then this one is 40. So that we get now the time saved. We get the time saved.
So I wanted,
27.
This is 27. We mentioned.
10.
So the other one is. So now we can get the bonus. We can get now the bonus. So bonus due for Abel, you take 27 hours, but they have said in the note number 1, a bonus is paid at 66.2/3% of the basic hourly rate of the time saved. So 66.2/3 as a fraction is which here? 66.2/3% as a fraction. 200/3, which is the same as. So each for your 203, it comes up here 66.66 recurrent, isn't it? Yeah, so that is the same as 2/3 as a fraction. When you take 2/3 multiplied by 100, you confirm on your calculator. So 66.2/3% is the same as 66.66 recurring, isn't it? Yeah, so 66.66 recurring is the same as 2/3. Ebu, take 2/3, take 2 divide by 3 and see what you get on your calculator. You will get 0.66 recurring. When you multiply by 100, is the same as 66.6 recurring. So that is why it can also be converted as 2/3. So 66.2/3% is the same as 2/3 as a fraction. Yeah, so I hope it is clear to you those who are online. 66.6 recurring is the same as 66.2/3%. But as a fraction, take it to be 2/3. If you go to your calculator, you take 2 divided by 3, it is going to give you 0.66 recurring. Then when you multiply 100, that's when you will get 66.66 recurring. So as a fraction, it will be 2/3. Then if you get a question where they have given you 33, 1/3, you can be given 33, 1/3. So 33, 1/3 is the same as 1/3 as a fraction. So online, I hope we are together at that point. So this one, 66.66 recurring or 66.2/3 is the same as 2/3 as a fraction. It's the same as 2/3 as a fraction. Then multiplied by the basic hourly rate. Multiplied by the basic hourly rate, which is given as how much on the Abel multiplied by. So those who are online, I hope we are together. Or if you want, you just take 66.66 recurring, then you multiply, divide by 100, then you multiply by 30. You see the figure you will get. So are we okay up to that point? Those who are online? Yeah, then this one, you also take 12, then 2/3, multiplied by the basic hour rate. The basic hour rate for Bilha is how much?
50.
Multiplied by 50. So this one had no overtime, so the bonus hours. So it is not there. So that is now how to compute the bonus due. That's now how to get the bonus due. So after we have calculated the bonus, we shall also be required to calculate the basic pay. Let us also get the basic pay. We shall also come up with the basic pay. Shall also be able to come up with the basic pay. So basic pay Abel, you see in the note number 4, a basic week has got how many hours?
40.
Yeah, so you take 40 multiplied by the basic hour rate for Abel, it is 30. Then for Bilha, because 40 is for everyone. 40 is for everyone. For Bilha, we multiply 50. For Charles, it is also 40, but this one we multiply by what? We multiply by 5. For the next one, we now calculate the overtime premium. The next one will be overtime. Overtime premium. So to get the overtime premium, we start with the time taken. We start off with the time taken. So time taken for Abel. The time taken for Abel. Abel was able to take how many hours? Actual hours worked. Abel was 48. Bilha was
54.
54. Then Charles is
40.
40. Then we compare that with the basic week. The basic week. So basic week as per the note number 4, which is 40 hours. So this will be 14, 14, 14. So that you come up with the overtime hours. So this one is going to be
14.
the one is
10.
so now we can get the overtime. So overtime was paid in 2 categories. Overtime was paid in 2 categories. So I want you to go to the note number 3. You see note 3. The first 8 hours worked in excess, they are paid at
Basic hourly rate plus 1/2.
plus 1/2. So that sentence is not complete. That sentence is not. So they are supposed to say that the first 8 hours worked in excess are paid at a basic hour rate plus 1/2 and a continuation. And the next. Before I confirm the actual wording for that. Just a minute.
So, deciding, and one, requesting, so I wanted to start, we have input data and then we have the master. So, we didn't have any, even when you don't need, you don't not that so that is the biggest really work. Excellent. So the requirement. So make sure that you can also put the reference to people. The one that you can see the same. Being done. Same. It's like number two, because they can be some certainly I need both kinds of one column column. And use for one, but selecting these and things will take for then you can go with programming, then you want 9 values. All the way, the program, same price, and then program, 9 values. So we'll go, we have what we think of why, so that it for one, otherwise, so I think half over. But these people are underlying, because that's what we before. If you make it so good, analyze group. You can start some slices, so we take it so far. And first of all, you know, be poor. That's how we start a people table. People when you start about the feet, so, and this will 9 minutes, and then I will be the organized place of the
So it should read that statement should be. So it should read that. Should be able to read that. That's not number 3, that the first 8 hours worked in excess are paid at a basic hour rate plus 1/2. And the next 8 hours, that's not there, the next 8 hours are paid, the next 8 hours are paid at a basic hour rate, plus 2/3, plus 1/3. A basic hourly rate plus 2/3. A basic hourly rate plus 2/3. So you see now, you want to compute the overtime premium. So this one was 8 hours, this one was 14. So we start with the first 8 hours. The first 8 hours. So the first 8 hours, it is 1.5. So 1.5, we say to the same. 1/1 plus 1/2. Denominator is 3/2. Yeah, so you take the 8 hours, multiply 3/2 of the basic hourly rate of Bill Abel. Abel basic hourly rate is what? So multiply that. Then for Bila, because there were 14, we start the first 8 hours. It's also 3/2. But this one we multiply by what? So we move in there, if not get on that. Then next 8 hours. So we move in the next 8 hours because the overtime was only 8 hours. But Bila 8, 14 minus 8. Yeah, so the next 6 hours, the rate will be changed. You see the next 8 hours from what we have added. They were paid at a rate plus 2. So that is 1 plus 2/3. 1 plus 2/3 is the same as what? So it's the same as 5/3 multiplied by 50. That's why there was nothing. So that now should be able to give you overtime premium. It will give you the overtime premium for each one of them. The overtime premium for each one of them. The overtime premium for each one of them. So now you can add the basic pay plus the bonus due plus the overtime premium for each worker. So that we get now, they wanted you also to calculate. They wanted you also to calculate. So that's what we have calculated is the Roman letter 2. Roman wages cost per good unit. So you can now get the wages cost per good unit. Wages cost per good. Wages cost per good unit. So when you add for Abel, the basic pay plus bonus plus overtime. So but you divide by, so that's now the gross earnings, but the wages cost per good unit. So units produced were 300, rejected were 74. So you take 300 minus 74. You get the wages cost per good unit. To get the wages cost per good unit.
$9.3.
9.3. How about Bila? You get the gross earnings for Bila. So get the gross earnings also for Bila. Get the gross earnings also for Bila.
3,500.
So you get 3,500. So we divide by it's 528 minus
Is 126.
Vector was 156. Then finally we go to charms. So charms are 1,000 divided by
120 minus 40.
So that was now on that particular question. So the next question I want us to check, still on the labor. So the next question still on the labor. So this one, you go to the sitting of December 2021. December 2021, that's exam. There is a question number 1, part B. December 2021. There is a question number 1, part B. December 2021. There is a question number 1, part B. Mine is on page 12. So December 2021, question number 1, part B. So we check question number 1, part B. We check question 1, part B. So that question 1, part B, they say that Usenge Products Limited manufactures and retails product A, B, and C, not 13, it should be product A, B, and C. It is product A, B, and C. So the company has 120 workers. The company has 120 workers who work under a group of the bonus scheme. The workers are categorized into 3 grades and are paid bonus of the excess of the time allowed over the time taken. Excess of the time allowed over the time taken. The bonus paid is 80% of the workers' base rate and is shared by the workers in the proportion of the time spent on the job. The following production data has been extracted from the company's records for the month of November 2021. So, product ABC, units produced, time allowed per unit in minutes. Grade of the worker, so there is grade 1, 2, and 3. Number of direct workers, the basic rate per hour. Wow. Then hours worked per worker. So required percentage of the hours saved to the hours taken. Percentage of the hours saved to the hours taken. So to get the hours saved, you start by getting the time allowed. Then you minus the time taken. So let us first get the time allowed. Let us first compute the time allowed. First calculate the time allowed. So to get the time allowed, they produced 640 units. So you take 640 multiplied by 63, but divide by 60 to convert it into hours. Then you also add product B. There were 1280. 1280. You also multiply 120. You multiply by 120. You also divide by 60. The next one, you take 2400. Which is 2400. Multiplied by that. You also divide by 60. So add them together. Give us the time allowed. So you add them together to give us the time allowed. Then we also get the time taken. Also get the time taken. So time taken, you got the grade of workers. Category grade 1, there were 40 workers. There were 40 workers. And each worker, you can see they worked for how many hours? Hours worked per worker. Grade 1. 30. So grade 2, there were 16 direct workers. 16 direct workers. Then you multiply by 64. Next one, there are 64 workers. But this one, you multiply by 50. So get the total, then you subtract to get the time saved. So that you get the time saved. So this one I've seen 72. Manifest 72, 32. Okay. 24, 24. When we subtract,
18.
so the question wanted you to calculate. They wanted you to calculate the percentage of the hours saved, the hours taken. So you simply come up with 1808. Time taken is 54. 24, then express it as a percentage. That's 3.33 recurrent. So that is the same as that 3 1/3. It's the same as that 3 1/3%. Because when you take 1 divided by 3, it is 0.3 recurrent. So that is now your Roman letter 1. So when it comes to Roman letter 2, they want you to get the bonus due to the group. So I'll like you to, so they had said that the bonus, if you check through the way they say that the bonus is paid at 80% of the workers' base rate and is shared by the workers in the proportion of the time spent. So time spent is the time taken. So confirm for me, we are requiring how many hours? 40 times 30. This one is 1200.
Yes.
Now you
10.
10. Then we will
200.
3200. So that the bonus was shared based on the hours taken. The hours taken the same as the time taken. So we share them to the grade of workers in terms of that. So this is how we shall get the bonus. This is how we shall get the bonus. So bonus due. I start off with grade 1. Get the bonus due. We start off with grade 1. We start off with grade 1. So grade 1, they worked for 1200 hours. Total hours are 54. So multiplied by this hours saved. You see, there were 1808. The hours saved, we are sharing it. based on the time taken for each grade of the workers. But 1808. So you get 18. Okay, so those are now the hours that were saved. But we can combine them. Then bonus was paid at 80% of the workers' wage rate. So multiplied by 80%. 80% of the basic hour rate for grade 1. You see the basic hour rate for grade 1? It is 300. So that now will give you the bonus for grade 1. Once we get the hours that were there for grade 1, then we spend them like that. Then we go to grade 2. We go to grade 2. So grade 2, you take 12, 10, 24. 10, 24. Also divided by 4, 24. Multiply 1808. Then now 80%. The basic hourly rate for grade 2 workers multiplied by 270. Then finally, we go to grade 3. Finally, we go to grade 3.
And then
Grade 3 was it at 200. So 200 divided by 51. 18. So 80% of portion. 80% of so you add them together. That was meant to be the bonus due to the group. That should be able to give us the bonus due to the group. Be able to give us the bonus due to the group. So it will give us the bonus due to the
and then we start a people just start people. So unlike we have different kinds of that. So unless coming up on it, then try to we try
So inakuja ngapi? 374,528. So that should be your Roman letter 2, bonus due to the group. So now we go to the Roman letter 3, the gross earnings due to the group. We get now the gross earnings due to the group. We now get the gross earnings due to the group. So when you want to compute the gross earnings, when you want to calculate the gross earnings, it is the basic pay we add minus due and minus also add overtime. Also add the overtime. Also so we start off with the basic pay. Start with the basic pay. So basic pay, grade 1, there were 40 workers. Each one worked for 30 hours. The rate per hour is 300. You go to grade 2. Grade 2, there were 16 workers. Each worked for 64 hours. The rate per hour is 270. Then the last one is meant to be. The last one is meant to be 64 hours. So each one worked for 15. So that now will give you the basic pay. That will give you the basic pay. So after the basic pay, the next one is the bonus. Bonus. So bonus would you calculate it on the Roman letter 2. Remember it was how much? So overtime premium was not there in this question. Overtime premium was not there in this question. So when you add, now you get the gross earnings. You now get the gross earnings. So when you add them, it's now when you get the gross earnings. So that is now your gross earnings.
Yeah, you can see after the line.
So you are getting which figure?
1779.
Yeah, so that is now for that question. There is still, there was 1779,008. So we still have one more question on that. This one is November 2020. November 2020, question 2, part B. There is a question for November 2020. Question number 2, part B. November 2020. There is a question number 2, part B. November 2020. Mine's on page 25. So that question part B reads that a company uses 2 methods to remunerate its casual workers as follows. So piece rate with a granted time rate. The company pays its casual workers at shillings 25 for every good output produced by them. Any spoiled output is paid at a rate of shillings 10, and a penalty of 8% is charged based on the rate of the good production. The employees are granted a minimum monthly pay of 8,000. Then differential piece rate. Differential piece. So an employee is compensated on the piece rate basis, and the following schedule is applied to determine his or her remuneration. To determine his or her remuneration. So they have given the number of the units in the range, and also spoil units are deducted from the first production, paid at a rate of 10 per unit, and the penalty of 8% applied at differential rate for the first production. So 3 employees of the company produced the following number of the units during the month of March 2020. So they gave us the employee, Ambogo, Banyala, and Charlie. So now required. Determine the wages payable to each employee under the 2 labor remuneration method. Then advise each employee on the best labor remuneration method to accept based on your computation in being Roman letter 1 above. So that's now a question on the piece rate and the time rate. So the time remaining will not allow me to finish the question. We have another class at 11. We can now take a break. When now we meet at 11, we shall go through the question. When we meet at 11, we shall now go through the question. So let us have a break. When we meet at 11, we shall now be able to do the question.